Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Offering our salutations to Ramana, who shines as the self in all beings, we begin today's satsang with a prayer by Srimati Sapna Ganesh that will be followed by the chanting of Muktaka trayam by Revathi Shankar.
दक्षिणामूर्तिसारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमां रमणाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां शुक्लां भरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये आङ्गिकं भुवनं यस्य वाचिकं सर्ववाङ्मयम् आहार्यं चन्द्रतारादि तं नमः सात्विकं शिवम् ॐ नमो भगवते श्रीरमणाय. Namo Ramana to everyone.
एकमक्षरं हृदि निरन्तरं भासते स्वयं लिख्यते कथं हृदयकुहरमध्ये केवलं ब्रह्ममात्रम् ह्यहमहमिति साक्षात् आत्मरूपेण भाति. हृदि विषमनसा स्वं चिन्वता मज्जता वा पवनचलनरोधा आत्मनिष्ठो अहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्तदभावसुप्तिसमये सिद्धात्मसद्भावतः को भावयुतः कुतो वरधिया दृष्ट्वात्मनिष्ठात्मना सो स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयं सो स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयं. नमो रमण.
Namo Ramana. We continue the satsang with a chanting of a few verses from Upadesa Saram by Kumari Uma Sripathy.
Namo Ramana. Vayurodhana liyate mana jalapudrodasadanam chittavayava चित्क्रियायुताः शाखयोर्द्वयी शक्तिमूलका लयविनाशने उभयरोदने लयगतं पुनर्भवति नोऽमृतम् प्राणबन्धना लीनमानसम् एकचिन्तना नाशमेत्यद नष्टमानसो उत्कृष्टयोगिन कृत्यमस्ति किं स्वस्तितिं यत दृश्यवारितं चित्तमात्मना चित्वदर्शनं तत्वदर्शनं मानसं तु किं मार्गणे कृते नैव मानसं मार्ग आर्जवात् वृत्तयस्त्वहं वृत्तिमाश्रिताः वृत्तयो मनो विद्यहं मना अहमयं कुतो भवति चिन्वत ऐपतत्यहं निजविचारणम् अहमिनाशभाज्यहमहं तया स्फुरतिरित्स्वयं परमपूर्णस. नमो रमण.
Namo Ramana. We move on to the part of the satsang where we have the offerings of Ramananjali Sangeetam. We have Ramananjali songs being presented by Srimati V. Radha, followed by Dr. Prathiba Sundaresh, and followed by a presentation by Savitri Krishnan and Jaisriram Krishnan and Kumari Revathi Shankar.
Namo Ramana to all. Today I'll be presenting a song written by Sri Muruganar Swami, the original one by Muruganar Swami, and I'll be singing the Telugu translation, which is done by JHB Acharya, and the music is by Vijay Bhaskar. दीनबन्धु रावय्या रमण शिवयोगी ज्ञानामृतमु पोयिरार अमर योगिरारा दीनबन्धु रावय्या रमण शिवयोगी भवमु बन्धनु मुक्तुडैन జ్ఞానయోగినీవట భవము బంధము ముక్తుడైన జ్ఞానయోగినీవట కర్మ ఫలములంటరాని శాంతి దూతనీవట మదము కామ మత్స్యరాలు ధరికి రాని భోగివి మదము కామ మత్స్యరాలు ధరికి రాని భోగివి నిరాకార బ్రహ్మమును చూచినట్టి యోగివి నిరాకార బ్రహ్మమును చూచినట్టి యోగివి దీనబంధు రావయ్యా రమణ శివయోగి గగన తలమున వెలయు పూర్ణచంద్రని భాననా గగన తలమున వెలయు పూర్ణచంద్రని భాననా జీవకోటి సతము గొలుచు పరమాత్మ రమణ జీవకోటి సతము గొలుచు పరమాత్మ రమణ ఇంద్రియముల వశము కాని యోగిరాజ రమణ ఇంద్రియముల వశము కాని యోగిరాజ రమణ రాగదుల ಬಾಪು ರಮಣಾಖ್ಯ ಋಷಿವಿ ನೀವು ರಾಗದುಲನು ಬಾಪು ರಮಣಾಖ್ಯ ಋಷಿವಿ ನೀವು ದೀನ ಬಂಧು ರಾವಯ್ಯ ರಮಣ ಶಿವಯೋಗಿ ಜ್ಞಾನಾಮೃತಮು ಪೋಯರಾರ ಅಮರ ಯೋಗಿರಾರ ದೀನ ಬಂಧು ರಾವಯ್ಯ ರಮಣ ಶಿವಯೋಗಿ ರಮಣ ಶಿವಯೋಗಿ ರಮಣ ಶಿವಯೋಗಿ. ನಮೋ ರಮಣ.
Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. This is Sri Sadhu Om Swami's composition. வரமொன்று ரமணேஷன் தந்தான் வாழ்வில் தானாக வரமொன்று ரமணேஷன் தந்தான் வாழ்வில் வரமொன்று ரமணேஷன் தந்தான் வாழ்வில் தானாக வரமொன்று ரமணேஷன் தந்தான் வாழ்வில் கிழக்கின்ற நடமாடி விட்டான் உள்ளம் கிழக்கின்ற நடமாடி விட்டான் வேறு கதியின்று பதியாகி விட்டான் கிழக்கின்ற நடமாடி விட்டான் உள்ளம் கிழக்கின்ற நடமாடி விட்டான் வேறு கதியின்று பதியாகி விட்டான் வேறு கதியின்று பதியாகி விட்டான் வரமொன்று ரமணேஷன் தந்தான் வாழ்வில் தானாக வரமொன்று ரமணேஷன் தந்தான் வாழ்வில் வரமொன்று ரமணேஷன் தந்தான் வாழ்வில் தானாக வரமொன்று ரமணேஷன் தந்தான் வாழ்வில் யாதொன்றும் அறியாத என்னை தனக்காள் என்று கொண்டேற்ற பின்னை யாதொன்றும் அறியாத என்னை தனக்காள் என்று கொண்டேற்ற பின்னை ஏதொன்றும் இல்லாமல் வைத்தான் பின்னை ஏதொன்றும் இல்லாமல் வைத்தான் நான் என்னென்ற உரைப்பேன் இதைத்தான் நான் என்னென்ற உரைப்பேன் இதைத்தான் வரமொன்று ரமணேஷன் தந்தான் வாழ்வில் தானாக வரமொன்று ரமணேஷன் தந்தான் வாழ்வில் வரமொன்று ரமணேஷன் தந்தான் வாழ்வில் தானாக வரமொன்று ரமணேஷன் தந்தான் வாழ்வில் கண்ணார மனமார கண்டே என்னை கரை சேர்க்கும் கலமாக கொண்டேன் கண்ணார மனமார கண்டேன் என்னை கரை சேர்க்கும் கலமா கொண்டேன் எண்ணாத துயிலாத நாட்டில் எண்ணாத துயிலாத நாட்டில் வாழ எளிதான வழியொன்று காட்டி வாழ எளிதான வழியொன்று காட்டி வரமொன்று ரமணேஷன் தந்தான் வாழ்வில் தானாக வரமொன்று ரமணேஷன் தந்தான் வாழ்வில் வரமொன்று ரமணேஷன் தந்தான் வாழ்வில் தானாக வரமொன்று ரமணேஷன் தந்தான் வாழ்வில். நமோ ரமண.
கண்ணால் உனது கதிர்முக நாங்கள் காண பெற்ற அண்ணா கண்ணாழாம் பெயனாந்தனம் என்பாரார் எண்ணால் நின்றாரிதய தொழிலும் ரமண பேர் அண்ணாமலையான் புனர்வசு நன்னாளது வண்ணம் பித ஒரு கோட்டியினர் போலொளிரும் ரமண பேர் உதார குணாளன் உவப்பது நோக்கி யுவப்பாரார் சுதவடிவான சுரூபானந்த சுயம் ஜோதியதா யமயாண்டான் புனர்வசு நன்னாளது வண்ணம் குலவும் தொண்டர் கூடி தம்மீர் கொண்டாடும் தலைவன் பேச்சே தம் உணவாக தழைப்பாரார் இலகும் புகழால் என்றிசை போற்ற ரமணன் பேச்சு அருகில் கழிப்பாம் புனர்வசு நன்னாளது வண்ணம் பொருளின் வண்ணம் புகழின் வண்ணம் பொலி வண்ணம் தெருளின் வண்ணம் திருவின் வண்ணம் திகழ் வண்ணம் இருளின் வண்ணம் இளையா வண்ணம் ரமணன் கூறு அருளின் வண்ணம் புனர்வசு நன்னாளது வண்ணம் நீட்சியின் வண்ணம் திஞ்சையின் வண்ணம் தீர்த்தின்ப காட்சியின் வண்ணம் கேள்வியின் வண்ணம் கடவுண்மா போற்றியின் வண்ணம் பூரண வண்ணம் பொற்றாளுக்கு ஆட்சியின் வண்ணம் புனர்வசு நன்னாளது வண்ணம் தேர்கலையெல்லாம் தேரினும் சிந்தை தெளியாது நீர்கன ஞான நிலை பெற வெட்ட நெஞ்சத்து சார்கதி காட்டும் சதா சிவமூர்த்தி ஜெயந்திக்கு மார்கழி மாத புனர்வசு நன்னாளது வண்ணம் ஆதரமேற்ற அடியவரோ மூதரையாலே முத உரை ஓதி மோனம் போதனையால் அனுபூதி புனர்க்கும் புலவோ ஞான ஆதவமையான் புனர்வசு நன்னாளது வண்ணம் நிதானம் கட்டி தொங்கல் விட்டு வினோதம் பதாகை தூக்கி பற்பல் சிறப்பு சாரிப்பார் எதகிலுமோ குற்றே வலியற்ற பெறாமோ வென்ற அதே நினைவாவார் புனர்வசு நன்னாளது வண்ணம் மாதவ தேவியர் மந்திர மோதி வாழ்த்துவார் போதைய தாந்தன் கோழுனரோடும் பின் குருகுவார் பேதையரானோர் நேதையராக பிறங்குவார் ஆதரனான் செய் புனர்வசு நன்னாளது வண்ணம் தாடிசை வண்ணம் தந்த விருத்தம் சாற்றுவார் ஏழிசை வாணரியாரோடு வீணையில் ஏற்றுவார் தோழன் சொகைய பூப்பொலி போசுணம் தோறுவார் வாழி ரமணன் புனர்வசு நன்னாளது வண்ணம் மோகமொழிக்கும் முனிவன் திருவாய் மொழி வாழி சோகமகற்றும் துத்தா துவித சுடவாழி ஏகஸ்வரூப ரமணன் கருணை இயல்வாழி காகமுறவு கலந்தார் போரும் கணம் வாழி. ஓம் நமோ பகவதே ஸ்ரீ ரமணாய.
Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. I'll be presenting a song written by Sadhu Om Swami. The Kannada translation for this is Dr. N.S. Lakshminarayana Bhatta. Music is by H.K. Narayana and C. Ashwath. This song, Sadhu Om Swami says, I have come to you only because of your grace. I am living my life only because of your grace. If you leave me and go away, which cannot happen, but I put Bhagavan away from myself. I don't think of Bhagavan, I don't think of the self, and I move away into the world and I say, please don't let me into the world. Please help me. Please get me back into that source. Once, the first day when I saw you itself, I embraced you. And now, you also embraced me. And now, if you just ignore me, is this right on your part? Oh Bhagavan Ramana, I have come just because of your grace.
I have come to you because of your grace. Please hold on to me and give your grace to me for me to hold on to you. I pray to you to remove the ahankara within me, the ego which is burning within me, which is burning me itself. Please, I pray to you to remove that. Not only that, to remove all the vasanas which are holding on to this ahankara. O Chinmaya, please cut off all the bondage which I hold on to. Please, I pray to you. You are my father, you are my mother. I am your child. And I call you. If you don't see me, where will I go? What will happen to me? Who else is there for me other than you, O Ramana? Because of your grace, I have come to you. Because of your grace, I am holding on to you. Please don't let me off. Let me go away from you. Let me not get into the world. Like how you say, Kriti Mahodadau. Let me not get into this world of action, world of thoughts. Let me get back to you, the source, which is the light, which is the self, which is Ramana. ನಿನ್ನ ಕೃಪೆಯನೆ ನಂಬಿ ಬಾಳುತ್ತಿರುವೆ ಬೀಳ ಬೀಳ ರಮಣ ದೇವ ಕಾಯೋ ನಿನ್ನ ಕೃಪೆಯನೆ ನಂಬಿ ಬಾಳುತ್ತಿರುವೆ ಬೀಳ ಬೀಳ ದೇವ ಕಾಯೋ ಕಂಡ ದಿನವೇ ಬಾಚಿ ತಬ್ಬಿನಿಂದೆ ದೂರ ತಳ್ಳುವುದೀಗ ನ್ಯಾಯವೇನೋ ಕಂಡ ದಿನವೇ ಬಾಚಿ ತಬ್ಬಿನಿಂದೆ ದೂರ ತಳ್ಳುವುದೀಗ ನ್ಯಾಯವೇನೋ ನಿನ್ನ ಕೃಪೆಯನೆ ನಂಬಿ ಬಾಳುತ್ತಿರುವೆ ಬೀಳ ಬೀಳ ದೇವಕ ನನ್ನ ಅಹಂಕಾರವನು ಮುರಿಸು ಎಂದು ಇನ್ನಿಲ್ಲದಂತೆ ನಾ ಬೇಡುತ್ತಿರುವೆ ನನ್ನ ಅಹಂಕಾರವನು ಮುರಿಸು ಎಂದು ಇನ್ನಿಲ್ಲದಂತೆ ನಾ ಬೇಡುತ್ತಿರುವೆ ನನ್ನ ಹಮ್ಮಿಗೆ ಚಿಗಿತ ವಾಸನೆಗಳ ಚಿನ್ಮಯನೆ ಕತ್ತರಿಸೋ ಬೇಯುತ್ತಿರುವೆ ನನ್ನ ಹಮ್ಮಿಗೆ ಚಿಗಿತ ವಾಸನೆಗಳ ಚಿನ್ಮಯನೆ ಕತ್ತರಿಸೋ ಬೇಯುತ್ತಿರುವೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಕೃಪೆಯನೆ ನಂಬಿ ಬಾಳುತ್ತಿರುವೆ ಬೀಡ ಬೀಡ ದೇವಕಾಯ ತಂದೆ ಬಾ ತಾಯಿ ಬಾ ಕಂದ ನಾನು ಎಂದು ಒಂದೇ ಸಮನೆ ಚೀರುತ್ತಿರುವೆ ತಂದೆ ಬಾ ತಾಯಿ ಬಾ ಕಂದ ನಾನು ಎಂದು ಒಂದೇ ಸಮನೆ ಚೀರುತ್ತಿರುವೆ. ಅದ ಕೇಳಿಯೂ ನೀನು ಸಲಹದಿರಲು ಯಾರೆನಗೆ ಗತಿಯೆಂದು ನೋಯುತ್ತಿರುವೆ. ನಿನ್ನ ಕೃಪೆಯನೆ ನಂಬಿ ಬಾಳುತ್ತಿರುವೆ. ಬೀಳ ಬೀಳ ದೇವ ಕಾಯೋ ಕಂಡ ದಿನವೇ ಬಾಚಿ ತಬ್ಬಿನಿಂದೆ. ದೂರ ತಳ್ಳುವುದೀಗ ನ್ಯಾಯವೇನೋ. ನಿನ್ನ ಕೃಪೆಯನೆ ನಂಬಿ ಬಾಳುತ್ತಿರುವೆ. ಬೀಳ ಬಿಡದೆ ರಮಣ ದೇವ ಕಾಯೋ, ರಮಣ ದೇವ ಕಾಯೋ, ರಮಣ ದೇವ ಕಾಯೋ. ನಮೋ ರಮಣ.
Namo Ramana. We move on to the next part of the satsang, where we have reading and sharing by Sri Nandakumarji. We have reading and sharing by Sri Nandakumarji.
Sorry about that. In this, the book reading segment of our satsang, we have been reading from Ramana's Muruganar, a birth centenary offering by Ramanacentre Center for Learning by our founder president, Sri A.R. Natarajanji. We have been reading the account of Muruganar, the poetic genius, by Asukavi Sadhuram Swamigal. And we have read a major portion of this in the last satsang. However, we retrace a little bit to have a sense of the completion. The writer, who is a Asukavi himself, gives us a unique insight into the greatness of Muruganar's poetic genius. Only another poetic genius can explore that area and tell us. He begins by saying that poets have been classified into 4 categories. First is the exceptional category of those whose poetry flows from the inspiration of God or a Sadguru. They are called Asukavi. So he himself is a Asukavi. Muruganar is an Asukavi, he says. The second type are those whose poetry is marked by sweetness, lilting lines and the like. They are called Madhura Kavis. The third category poets are called Chitra Kavis because their poetry is centered on figures drawn by them. The last category of poets are those who revel in elaboration and details, known as Vistara Kavis, and Muruganar belongs and covers all these areas. We go on with the reading. Any worthwhile Tamil poetry should contain the elements Iyal, Isai, Nadagam. Perfection in grammar and excellence of literary style is Iyal. Anyone who reads even a few selections from Muruganar's poetry can readily see that it fulfills Iyal requirement amply. Isai is that which is suited to raga, tala, and bhava. His compositions, brimming with bhakti, are rich in their wealth of meaning and are set to pun ragas. They fall easily into rhythmic patterns. We saw this also in Amma's account, Sulochan Amma's account, how Muruganar's poems were basically in pun ragas. It is for this reason that many of his compositions have been easily rendered in music concerts and in music cassettes. Hence, quite clearly, the Isai requirement too is very much fulfilled. Actually, his compositions are on par with Tevaram, Tirupugal, Tiruvachakam. Such is their excellence. Muruganar's poetry contains the necessary dramatic element, the Nadakam. It is therefore Nadaka Tamil as well. In this context, one may refer to Tiruchuriyar Padigam, Tirupandi Padigam, Talaivi Irantal, Sone Tirupadigam. Tirupandi Padigam, the decade, you who for final freedom yearning, cling to the feet of sovereign Ramana, king of Pandi, whose flawless Annamalai's unparalleled record will in this same body that you have taken shake bondage and make you gain mukti. You who for final freedom yearning cling to the feet of sovereign Ramana, king of Pandi, wholly flawless Annamalai's unparalleled Lord, will in this same body shake bondage and gain mukti. You will shake bondage and gain mukti. Sannidhi Murai, verse 701. Destroying the mind that wandered in and out, he, Venkata, lodged my heart in lasting bliss and firmly placed his fiery feet upon my head. All because of penance done by my forefathers in ages past. Destroying the mind that wandered in and out, he, Venkata, lodged my heart in lasting bliss and firmly placed his fiery feet upon my head. All because of penance done by my forefathers in ages past. Sannidhi Murai, verse 710. Sone Tirupadigam, another decade. Padigam itself is decade. Venkata, the ripened fruit of all the penance of the world, your grace relieved from illusion those weary of the cycle of births. Bright flame, ablaze on Aruna hill, blue-necked Shiva, I rejoice in your bliss, thinking of your bliss. Sometimes we may think about the praises that Muruganar gives on Bhagavan, but today is Punarvasu day, and the more Bhagavan reveals his greatness to us, we see that these are the most apt and sometimes less than what praise could be told of Bhagavan. But see the beauty of the praise that he gives. Venkata, the ripened fruit of all the penance of the world. Your grace relieved from illusion those weary of the cycle of births. Bright flame ablaze on Aruna hill, blue-necked Shiva, I rejoice in your bliss, thinking of your bliss. Sannidhi Murai, verse 960. Heart loveless, eyes hard, wooden, such was I. But Venkata has chosen for his temple this body, this heart, these eyes. O light beyond the Vedas' reach, O flame ablaze on Aruna hill, pray show me how to overcome completely and forever and ever the illusion of this world. Heart loveless, eyes hard, wooden, such was I. But Venkata has chosen for his temple this body, this heart, these eyes. O light beyond the Vedas' reach, O flame ablaze on Aruna hill, pray show me how to overcome completely and forever and ever the illusion of this world. The peerless poet, now he is going to, the Asukavi Sadhuram is going to place yet another accolade on Muruganar Swamigal. He is calling him the peerless poet. It is only a few who can be called Mahakavi, the peerless poet. In this category, we have Valmiki, the Adikavi, Vedavyasa, Kalidasa, Subramanya Bharati, the Varakavi. Sri Muruganar can certainly be regarded as one of this group. I will read this again. The peerless poet. It is only a few who can be called Mahakavi. Mahakavi Muruganar, the peerless poet. In this category, we have Valmiki, the Adikavi, Vedavyasa, Kalidasa, Subramanya Bharati, the Varakavi. Sri Muruganar can certainly be regarded as one of this group. If one reads Sannidhi Murai on Ramana, it will be obvious that it is not a wit behind the classic of Manika Vachakar on Shiva. There is such beauty and depth that one can do any amount of research, diving deep into the world of Muruganar's poetry. The grace of Ramana has been like a polish to the diamond of Muruganar's poetry, whose brilliance cannot escape even laypersons, let alone scholars. In particular, one can refer to the Advaitic experience expressed with such lucidity in Tirupalli Ezhuchi. The sun has arisen, lotuses blossom, singers and Tamil poets have come. What eternal gods know not, your devotees know easily. You melt their hearts, direct their working, and in yogic sleep, destroy even the thought that the world is a dream. Wake up, Venkata, wake up. Sannidhi Murai, verse 1450. The sun has arisen, lotuses bloom, singers and Tamil poets have come. What eternal gods know not, your devotees know easily. You melt their hearts, direct their working, and in yogic sleep, destroy even the thought that the world is a dream. Wake up, Venkata, wake up. Sannidhi Murai 1450. Sannidhi Murai really abounds in innumerable expressions of the state of fullness bestowed on Muruganar by Bhagavan. The coverage of poetry is total. Muruganar has composed in as many as 23 different types of meters like Kalivenba, Vanjit Tuvai, Kattale Kalivenba, Isaipaattu, Kural Venba, and so on. The coverage of poetry is total. Muruganar has composed in as many as 23 different types of meters like Kalivenba, Vanjit Tuvai, Kattale Kalivenba, Isaipaattu, Kural Venba, and so on. This is possible only for an exceptional genius in Tamil poetry. When I was present for Muruganar's 18th Aradhana at Sri Ramanacentre, I spontaneously composed an Ashtottara Stuti, 108 names in praise of him. A few lines from it are reproduced below. The poet Sadhuram was present in Muruganar's 18th Aradhana celebrations in the ashram. Says at that time he wrote an Ashtottaram on Muruganar himself. Some of these praises are mentioned here. Praise to him, born in Bharadwaja Gotram. Praise to him who expressed his love for the motherland Bharata through inspired Swatantra Geetam, songs on freedom. Praise to him, the spiritually immaculate recorder of Guru saying, garland of Guru sayings. Praise to him extolled by Ramana Padananda, a great devotee of Ramana. Praise to him, born to sing Ramana's glory in poetry excelling Tiruvachakam. He calls him Mahakavi and he has written an Ashtottaram on Muruganar. Some of these I repeat again. Praise to him born in Bharadwaja Gotra. Praise to him who expressed his love for the motherland Bharata through inspired Swatantra Geetam, songs on freedom. Praise to him, the spiritually immaculate recorder of Guru sayings, garland of Guru sayings. Praise to him, extolled by Ramana Padananda, the great devotee of Ramana. Praise to him, born to sing Ramana's glory in poetry excelling Tiruvachakam. He is the one who wrote the Punarvasu Vandam, which was sung by Savitri Madam today. Today is Punarvasu, Bhagavan's Nakshatram day. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Ramanaya.
Namo Ramana Nandakumarji. I request Nandakumarji to conduct the self-enquiry session in the absence of Dileep Simhaji today.
Namo Ramana. In Bhagavan's Ullad Narpadu, we have a verse, verse number 11, which brings Bhagavan's Atma Vicharam into beautiful perspective, how it is at the adhara of all other sadhanas. All other sadhanas are rooted in Atma Vicharam. If you do Atma Vicharam, it is at the root of all other possible sadhanas. Here the verse is, let us briefly read through this verse and then start the practice. Arivurum tannai ariyadu, ayalai arivadu ariyamai andri arivo, arivayar kadara tannai ariya, arivariyamai arum. The whole scheme of things in spirituality, how they have approached it is that there is this world of multiplicity, there is this mind having multiple thoughts, but both the world and the mind are permeated by a buddhi which seems to have dyads. So what the spiritualists have done, they have used the buddhi which actually permeates the world as well as the mind as a sadhana instrument, because it has the ability not to see in multiplicity but as dyads. That is how they have the right and the wrong, and ethics is present in all the religions. And one of the basic spiritual practices is to catch hold of the right, be a right person, be a righteous person. How that has originated, that the whole world of multiplicity as well as the whole mind of multiplicity is permeated by just two energies called right and wrong. What the ego is asked? The ego is asked to hold the right again and again till it gets maturity to go beyond even this dyad. Unless somebody has practiced righteous living, Bhagavan himself says in Guru Vachaka Kovai, one cannot progress further in sadhana. So, when we practice this dyad of righteous living, we look at the whole area of dyads, that the world can be divided by the mind as good or bad, right or wrong, and there are many other dyads. But fundamentally in Jnana Marga, the dyad taken up is Arivu Ariyamai, knowing and not knowing or ignorance. And Bhagavan says in this verse, Arivurum Tannai Ariyadu, Ayalai Arivadu, Ariyamai Andri Arivo. Without knowing the self, knowing any non-self, including all the dyads that can be posited, all the dyads become non-self, because both Arivu, Ariyamai is for somebody. So in verse number 11, Bhagavan highlights how the self-non-self duality is at the root of all dualities. Only after the self-non-self duality arises, all the other dualities arise. So who is to practice righteousness? Who is to divide the world as knowledge and ignorance, as like and dislike? It is for me. Who am I? When we inquire, we go into the source of this whole world of multiplicity in gross world, this whole world of multiplicity in thoughts, fundamentally divided into the dyads. But we are not going into all the dyads, we are going into the root dyad called as Tan Pirar, self, non-self. Is the world divided by two energies as self and non-self? Bhagavan says, no. There is only the self which permeates all the multiplicity in the sensory area, all the multiplicity of thoughts. There is only one energy. So whenever the non-self appears, understand that that is Ariyamai and hold the self, which is Arivu. Arivurum Tannai Ariyadu, Ayale Ariyadu. Anything other than the self you know is Ariyamai, he says. So he brings forth the fundamental nature of Atma Vicharam, that when you are practicing Atma Vicharam, you are crossing the multiplicity in the gross world, you are crossing the multiplicity in the thought world, you are also crossing all the dyads in the buddhi, all the triads in the buddhi. All the dyads and triads are also for someone. So this self-awareness which we have been given, the Atma Vicharam that we have been given, whenever a thought arises, the thought could be about the gross world, the thought could be about the thought world, the thought could be about any of the Anya dyads or triads, but always it is non-self. So whenever a thought appears, ask for whom is this thought. The answer will always be, this thought is for me. Hold, who am I? It will take you to the source of the gross world, the subtle world of thoughts, all the dyads and triads. The source of all this is the one self. So anything other than the self you have, you put it aside as non-self, as Ariyamai, and ask for whom is this. Relentlessly practice this. One is bound to come to the source of it all, which is the self-luminous self, is what Bhagavan teaches. How is teaching is direct, and it prevents wastage of energy in many of the other inquiries. We will be able to practically know, even if we start letting go of a single thought. A single thought let go for even a trace takes us a long way towards the self, says Bhagavan. So let us sit in practice of Atma Vicharam for the next 10 minutes or so. Ujwalji will help us out with the timing. Thank you. Namo Ramana.
Namo Ramana. Now we have a sharing by Sri Venkatesh Deshpande.
Oh. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviram Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Dhyanamulam Guru Murti, Pujamulam Guru Padam, Mantramulam Vakyam Mokshamulam Guror Kripaha. Mokshamulam Guror Kripaha. Muramana. We're doing Manana and Atma Bodha. In the last satsang, we touched upon verse number 49. We'll do a quick recap of that. A liberated soul, Jivan Mukta, endowed with a self-knowledge, gives up the traits of his previous equipments and becomes Brahman on account of his nature of existence, knowledge, bliss, just as a worm becomes a wasp. Your equipments, upadhis, are the gross, subtle, and causal bodies. Identifying with them, you assume the personality for the waker, dreamer, deep sleeper. Your identification with the gross body projects your waking world and its experiences. Similarly, the subtle body projects your dream world and its experiences, and the causal body, the homogeneous experience of deep sleep. But when you identify with the Supreme Self, you transcend the limitations of the three conditioning bodies. The properties of the material bodies do not affect you anymore. You become pure Atma, Satchidananda. Today we will do Manana on verse number 50. I request Sapna to kindly chant it for us, please.
Yes, sir. Namo Ramana.
Namo
तीर्त्वा मोहार्णवं हत्वा रागद्वेषादिराक्षसान् योगी शान्तिसमायुक्तः आत्मा रामो विराजते. तीर्त्वा मोहार्णवं हत्वा रागद्वेषादिराक्षसान् योगी शान्तिसमायुक्तः आत्मा रामो विराजते. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sapna. Having crossed the ocean of delusion and having killed the demons of likes and dislikes, etc., the sage, united with peace, revels in his own Atma. When you discover your Supreme Self, you revel in the glory of the eternal being. This divine transformation is mentioned here with a subtle reference to the epic story of the Ramayana. The choice of words like Arnava, ocean, Rakshasas, demons, and Atma Rama, reveling within oneself, suggests this influence. The ocean of delusion represents the ignorance of the self, avidya. As long as avidya lasts, you dwell in the realm of likes and dislikes. These pairs of opposites create mental agitations. They are like monsters destroying your peace and bliss. When avidya is overcome, you reach the exalted state of godhood. You are no longer swayed by the pairs of opposite. You remain established in the supreme bliss of the Atma within. Reveling in yourself, you maintain a feeling of dispassion towards the world of objects. The epic Ramayana describes the fall of man as well as his rise to his original state of peace and bliss. Rama represents the Atma and his consort Sita, the ego or individuality in man. Sita lived happily with Rama, whether it was luxury of the Ayodhya palace or in the exigencies of the jungle. But when Sita shifted her attention from Rama to a fleeting golden deer, she suffered a series of calamities. Ultimately, she was held captive by the 10-headed Ravana. Likewise, you will remain thoroughly content and happy in any environment as long as your attention is turned towards your higher self. But when you turn extrovert and divert your attention to the enchanting objects of the world, your troubles start. Even at this stage, you can save yourself by the discipline of self-control, brahmacharya. This is indicated by the line drawn by Lakshmana, forbidding Sita to cross it. But Sita chose to transgress the limitation and consequently suffered a great sorrow. Similarly, in your extroversion, you flout self control and discipline and fall a prey to the incessant demands of your 10 senses organs, represented by the 10-headed Ravana. As a captive in the kingdom of Ravana, Sita lived separately in the Ashokavanam, which literally means the garden of no grief. Even though she did not enjoy the positive bliss of her association with Rama, she maintained a life without suffering and grief by constantly remembering the Lord. She repulsed all temptations of Ramana to live with him in his golden palace. Similarly, you may be under the mercy of the 10 sense organs, but you can practice detachment from them and contemplate upon the self. Your life will then will be free from agitation and sorrow. When you continue thus to live in self-control and contemplation upon the self, you gain an intellectual conviction and faith in your spiritual pursuit. This is symbolized by Hanuman appearing before Sita in the Ashoka garden with the news of Rama. After his meeting with Sita, Hanuman scorches the entire kingdom of Ravana with his blazing tail. This indicates that the sense objects of the world cease to present any more temptations to one who is well established in self-control and meditation. When you prepare your inner personality fully, you're ready for the merger, the for the merger. The ego with the self is also indicated in the epic. Rama kills the monkey king Valli. Valli represents lust, who was ruling the monkey kingdom. He mobilizes the monkey kingdom under the leadership of Valli's brother Sugriva. Sugriva represents well controlled. A monkey represents a thought for two reasons, that they are both asthira, that is moving from place to place, and chanchala, that is moving within a fixed place. With the help of the army of monkeys, Rama defeated Ravana and regained Sita. The army of monkeys represent the thought forces. The significance of changing the leadership to Sigriva is that the thought here must withdraw from lust, conquer the temptations of the sense organs, and dissolve the ego in the Supreme Self. At the time of the sacred reunion of Rama and Sita, Sita again gets back to the world from where she came. The allegorical suggestion here is that on realization, your delusory ego no longer exists. You can continue to function in the world until your prarabdha, matured vasanas, is exhausted. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Namo Ramana.
Namo Ramana. In this part of the satsang, we were meditating on the verses of Ramana Chatvarimshat written by Kavya Kanta Vasishta Ganapati Muni, and they have been compiled, these 40 verses in praise of Ramana, as 40 verses by Bhagavan Ramana himself. And we are meditating on the 39th, which is the penultimate verse, where Ganapati Muni is singing the glory of Arunachala and says Arunachala has become more fortunate by the presence of Ramana. Tad bhagadeyamasamamanamane vasarjitam kshitibrita kalulohitasya angīchakara bhagavan ramano mahashiranyeshu sastu yadimam bahushu staleshu ramanam gurum namami saubhagya padedihudu sarisati illade ಮುನಿವರರು ವಾಸಿಸುವ ಕೆಂಪಾದಗಿರಿಯು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಲೆಸಿಹರು ಭಗವಾನ್ ರಮಣ ಮಹರ್ಷಿಗಳು ಇತರ ಅನೇಕ ಪುಣ್ಯ ಸ್ಥಳಗಳಿದ್ದರು ರಮಣ ಗುರುವಿಗೆ ನಮನ ರಮಣ ಗುರುವಿಗೆ ನಮನ ರಮಣ ಗುರುವಿಗೆ ನಮನ ರಮಣ ಗುರುವಿಗೆ ನಮನ. Ganapati Muni says, this Arunachala hill, which is so glorious because of the presence of great people, it is told that in Arunachala, the Arunachaleshwara himself, he resides as a Siddha. Bhagavan Ramana also confirms this, that once when Ramana was climbing up the hill, he saw a huge banyan leaf flying and coming towards him. And when he saw that such big leaf, it was as big as a banana leaf that we use for eating food. And when he realized that this leaf should be from the Vata Vriksha, the banyan tree under which the Arunachala yogi is sitting. And when he was going in search of that Vata Vriksha, on the way he was stopped by Arunachala by creating an obstacle where his left thigh accidentally brushed a hornet's nest, and all the bees, they became furious and they stung him very, very badly, and he forgot all about going to that Vata Vriksha where the Arunachala yogi is sitting, but he came back with great difficulty, dragging himself back to Virupaksha cave. So he says that Arunachala, there are great Siddhas who are all residing in the Arunachaleshwara hill. There is one more instance where a golden mongoose, it was a Kartika Deepam day, so many people were climbing up the hill to the Uchi Malai to see the Deepam being lit on the tip of the Arunachala hill. So on their way up the hill, the people were visiting the Virupaksha cave where Virupaksha cave and Skandashram where Ramana was staying, and they used to continue their journey, and this strange golden mongoose was coming in between the people without any anxiety or without any worry or fear. The people thought maybe this is a trained pet mongoose, that's why it is not fearing the people, it is coming amidst the people with fearlessly. So this mongoose came up the hill and it came to the presence of Bhagavan, and it jumped and sat on the lap of Bhagavan, and the Bhagavan caressed it with lot of love, and soon after sitting for some time on Bhagavan's lap, it jumped out and it went all around the ashram, and Bhagavan followed it wherever it went to save the mongoose from the peacocks and other birds. So he went around with the mongoose, and once the mongoose had finished seeing all the places in the ashram, it went and it disappeared in between the bushes. And the devotees heard it later that a golden mongoose had come to the presence of Bhagavan. They all wondered, Bhagavan, we should have caught this golden mongoose and we would have kept it as a pet mongoose in the ashram. And Ramana told, can you do that? Do you know who was that golden mongoose? Do you think it was an ordinary mongoose? No, it was the Arunachala Siddha himself who had come in that form to be in the presence of Bhagavan and go around the ashram where he was staying. So Ramana confirms that there are great Siddhas. When the devotees were going on Girivalam, all of a sudden we usually go in the left side of the road, and the right side of the road it is told that the Siddhas also join us in the Girivalam. So we should not use the right side of the road while going in the Giri Pradakshina. Instead, we should use the left part of the road to go Girivalam. And when they were doing that, all of a sudden, when they were chanting and singing some divine songs, a tiger appeared towards the right side from the hill. It appeared, and all the devotees were scared, and they stopped chanting. And silently they moved ahead without chanting, and they all came to Bhagavan and reported, Bhagavan, when we were going on Givalam, a tiger appeared from the hill and it appeared in the right side. And Ramana laughed and told, some great Siddha wanted to listen to your chanting, so he appeared in amidst you, but you stopped chanting, so it also went away. So Ramana, he told the Siddhas come in various forms. They come in various different forms. One more beautiful story which I remember is that somebody brought 2 pigeons to the presence of Bhagavan, and they were placed on the lap of Bhagavan, and the Ramana told, who will take care of these pigeons? Then somebody told, okay Bhagavan, we will get 1 cage and keep the pigeons. So they had gone to bring 2 cages, and it was taking lot of time for them to bring that cage. So Bhagavan held these pigeons and he was caressing them from the head to toe, and he was talking to these pigeons with lot of love. He told, oh pigeons, who will take care of you? If you were a white peacock, everybody would have told, yes, we'll take care, and they would have volunteered themselves. But you are ordinary pigeons. Who will take care of you? I alone should take care of you. And telling this, he was talking to the pigeons and touching them from head to toe. And the devotees who report this, they say, these pigeons, they are some great tapaswins who had come, who are getting the blessings of being touched from head to toe by Bhagavan. What great punya these great tapaswins would have done, who have come in that form of pigeons. These were the words which the devotees have reported who were there in that presence at that time. So Arunachala is filled with great siddhas and tapasvins and yogis. To that Arunachala's glory, it has become multifold because Ramana has chosen Arunachala to be his abode. There's a beautiful conversation which happened between Dr. Muhammad Hafiz Syed. He was a professor in a university in Allahabad, and he got to know about Bhagavan Ramana through Paul Brinton's The Search in Secret India. When he read this book and read about Ramana, he just felt that Ramana has all the qualities of a great prophet. So he eagerly wanted to go and see Bhagavan. So in 1935, he came to see Bhagavan, and once he came to Bhagavan, he was completely drawn to him, and he realized if at all he has to get any growth in his spiritual progress, it has to be in the presence of Bhagavan, because Bhagavan's equality and Bhagavan's stature, where he saw everybody as equal, and he saw that how Bhagavan was so humane and how he could relate to everyone, how he was so natural, it drew Muhammad Hafiz, and he soon, in a few years, he took a house on rent and was staying in the presence of Arunachala near the ashram. And he came also with his great devoted wife, Mrs. Syed, who also became a great devotee of Bhagavan. And Hafiz asked a few questions to Bhagavan, where he told, what is the purpose of this external manifestation, Bhagavan? He asked, Bhagavan, why do we have this? What is the purpose of this human birth, the external manifestation? Bhagavan answered, this manifestation induced in you the question, right? Because you have got this human manifestation, you are getting this question, what is the purpose? That is the purpose of this human manifestation, is what is understood. Then Mr. Hafiz continued, true, I am covered by Maya. How to be free from it? I am covered by Maya. How to be free from it? Bhagavan replied, who is covered by Maya? Who wants to be free? So he turned the question to the questioner, and Bhagavan asked, who is covered by Maya? Who wants to be free? Dr. Hafiz Syed replied, Master, being asked who, I know it is the ignorant me, composed of the senses, mind and body. I have tried this enquiry after reading Paul Brinton's book 3 or 4 times, and I have felt elated, but the elation lasted for some time and then faded away. How can I be established in the I or the I am? Please give me a clue and help me. He told, yes, when you ask me who am I feel I am this ignorant, limited identity which I think I am. But when I turn within with the enquiry that you have told, I feel elated for a few moments, but it does not stay continuously. So please give me a clue, says Dr. Syed, and Bhagavan replies, that which appears anew must also disappear in due course. If you see something, a new thing coming, it will disappear. So Hafiz continued, please tell me the method of reaching the eternal truth. Bhagavan replied, you are already that. Can we remain other than the self? To remain as self requires no effort, since you are always that. To remain as yourself requires no effort, since you are always that. On another occasion, Dr. Syed asked, I have been reading the 5 hymns of Arunachala which you wrote in praise of Arunachala, and I find that hymns are addressed to Arunachala by you. You are an Advaitin. How do you then address God as a separate being? Dr. Syed is asking about Arunachala. He is telling, I have been reading the 5 hymns of Arunachala, and you have wrote in praise of Arunachala. I find that the hymns are addressed to Arunachala by you. You are an Advaitin. How do you then address God as a separate being? Bhagavan replied, the devotee, God, and the him are all the self. Bhagavan replied, the devotee, the God, and the him all are self. Dr. Hafiz Syed told, but you are addressing God. You are specifying this Arunachala hill as God. Bhagavan replied, you can identify the self with your body. We think that we are this body, right? When we think we are this body, should not the devotee identify the self with the Arunachala? Should not the devotee identify the self with Arunachala? Bhagavan replied, you can identify the self with your body. Should not the devotee identify the self with Arunachala? Dr. Hafiz Syed said, if Arunachala be the self, then why should it be picked out of so many other hills? There are so many other hills. You can say any hill is the self. God is everywhere. Why do you specify him as Arunachala? Why do you specify God as Arunachala? Bhagavan replied, what has attracted you from Allahabad to this place? What has attracted all these people who are seated here? Dr. Hafiz said, you, Bhagavan. When Bhagavan asked, what has attracted you from Allahabad to here? He replied, you, Bhagavan. And Bhagavan replied, how was I attracted here? By Arunachala. The power of Arunachala cannot be denied. Again, Arunachala is within, not without. The self is Arunachala. Ramana said that you cannot deny the power of Arunachala. The scripture says, Smaranat Arunachalam. Wherever you are, if you think of Arunachala, the liberation is bestowed on you. But what is Arunachala? Arunachala is the self. When we constantly remember the self, then we are ever liberated. We understand we are the truth. But if we think we are this body, then Arunachala is a hill. Arunachala is a God that we worship. Arunachala is the God, Arunachala hill, whom we go around singing the Aksharamanamalai and the 5 hymns on Arunachala, and we talk to Arunachala in the various hymns and in conversations. But when we understand that the Arunachala is the self, then we understand that devotee, Lord, and the hymns and all these words, everything is Arunachala. So in that Arunachala, Ramana is ever abiding. He has chosen among all the forms, he has chosen Arunachala to be his abode. Although there are so many Punya Kshetras everywhere, he has chosen that special hill as his abode, making it much more glorious. And Arunachala is the self. So Ramana has chosen our very self. That self which is shining within all beings as his abode. When we turn within towards that self and abide in Arunachala, we become one with that Arunachala Ramana, and we also become glorious, says Ganapati Muni in this verse of Ramanacentre. We move on to the next sharing by Dr. Sarada. She has been sharing her insights on Vishwanatha Swami's Ramana Ashtottara.
Namo Ramana. Prostration to Ramana, shining is the self in all beings. By the immense grace of the self manifested Ramana, we in this part of the satsang are meditating on the namas or the names that are part of the litany of 108 names called the Ramana Ashtottara Shatanamavali. This is a composition of Vishwanatha Swami, and we are currently meditating on a set of names, which is Gambhiraya Namaha, Paramacharya Namaha. Paramacharya, Gambhira we meditated on, and from there we go on to the Nama Paramacharya Namaha. The Supreme Acharya. Parama means supreme, the greatest teacher, the supreme teacher. Parama Acharya also refers to the teacher's teacher, the guru's guru. So here Vishwanatha Swami is alluding or paying obeisance to his guru in the form of Ganapati Muni as well. Ganapati Muni's guru is Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi. So he is acknowledging that Ganapati Muni is his guru and Bhagavan is his guru, Parama Acharya. Because at one juncture, Bhagavan had sent Vishwanatha Swami to Muni to learn Sanskrit and all the nuances of the scriptures. And Vishwanatha Swami also describes Ganapati Muni, his sweetness, his absolute naturalness, and his humility and love for Bhagavan, the great devotion to Bhagavan. Paramacharya, of course, the supreme teacher, because Bhagavan is the teacher of the path of self-enquiry. Self-enquiry is the essence of all the scriptures. Muruganar Swami says, Bhagavan has churned all the Vedas, the Agamas, and taken out the clarified butter from all this, the Kaivalya Navanitam. So because Bhagavan has taken the essence of the scriptures, or one may say the pinnacle of the scriptures, one refers to him as the Parama Acharya. In what way is this the essence of the scriptures? Bhagavan says in Sadarshanam, he says that all the scriptures deal with three aspects of knowledge. That is, the individual, the world, and God. Three aspects. And among these, Bhagavan says, the individual is the essence because it is the individual or the I who perceives the world and who has a relationship with God. If I am not there, no world is there, he says. Though it appears as if when I wake up, there is a world out there already. However, the truth is that it is only when I wake up that I become aware of the world. So Bhagavan Ramana asks, where is a world without me? If I am not there, is there a world for me? In my dream, the outer world may exist or not exist, but I am living in a totally different world. And in deep sleep, there is no world at all, but I continue to exist. Who is that I? This is the crucial question which Bhagavan poses for us. So he brings all experience to the core. And one of the devotees asked him, Bhagavan, I want to see God. Then Bhagavan said, who is it who wants to see God? He said, I am so and so. He said, that is only your name. Then who is it who wants to see God? Does your name want to see God? No. Then he said, no, I am a man. I am a human being. I am a man, he said. But that is only a gender. The gender does not want to see God, does it? Who is the I in you who wants to see God? That I am a human being. That is a species. So he goes on. He says, I am a professor. I am this. I am that. Okay, so all this he says, that is only your occupation. That is only your vocation. That is only something which comes. All these things are experiences or add-ons. They are called upadhis. But who is it in you who wants to see God? Who is the I who wants to see God? And then that devotee recognizes, oh, I don't seem to know this I. So Bhagavan says, if you do not know the I who wants to see God, where is the question of saying, I want to see God? First, you find out who that I is and what this, which we call God, is our true nature. The divinity is our true nature. And individuality is an illusion which comes and goes. What is an illusion? Illusion is that which appears and disappears. So this individuality appears and it disappears. So Bhagavan has told us this in a very simple manner. Therefore, Vishwanatha Swami is saying he is Paramacharya. And this teaching Bhagavan gave to Shiva Prakasham Pillai. He gave it to Gambhiram Sheshayar. He gave the same teaching to Ganapati Muni also, but in slightly different form, one may say, according to the approach from which they came. Gambhiram Sheshayar came from the scriptural approach. So Bhagavan gave him the answer from that approach. In Gambhiram Sheshayar, we find Bhagavan starting from the standpoint of misery. He says, if you have a body, you are bound to have misery. If you want to be free of misery, then get back to your true nature. But when he speaks to Shiva Prakasham Pillai, or when he guides Shiva Prakasham Pillai through his written notes, then he says, everyone is in search of happiness. Why is everyone in search of happiness? Because it is their true nature. Then why doesn't everyone experience happiness at all times? Because they are not in touch with their true nature. So find out who the I is. When Muni takes refuge in Bhagavan and asks him, I want to know the true meaning of tapas, then Bhagavan says, find out from where the I thought arises and merge in its source, that is tapas. But the teaching is the same, and the teaching comes to each and every devotee, each and every seeker who turns to Bhagavan with the same intensity and the same surety of giving us the Atmanubhava, the ultimate experience. So, Vishwanatha Swami here in this Nama hails him as Paramacharyaya Namaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Sri.
Namo Ramana. We will have the chanting of a few verses of Arunachala Aksharamanamalai by Srimati V. Radha.
Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Tedadutranal Tiruvarunidhiyahat இயக்கம் தீர்த்தருளருணாச்சலா தைரியமோடு முன்மெய்யக நாடயன் தட்டழிந்தேன் அருளருணாச்சலாம் தொட்டருக்கைமை கட்டிடாயனிலிய நட்டமாவேன் அருளருணாச்சலாம் தோடமில் நீ அகத்தோடொன்று என்றும் சந்தோடம் ஒன்றிட அருளருணாச்சலாம் நகைக்கிடவில்லை நின் நாடியனை அருள் நகையிட்டு பாரி அருணாச்சலாம் நாடிலை நாடிட நானாயொன்றினி காணுவா நின்றனை அருணாச்சலாம் நின்னெறி தென்னை நீராக்கிடும் உன் நின்னருள் மழை பொழி அருணாச்சலாம் நீனானர புலி நிதங்களிமயமா நின்றிட நிலையருள் அருணாச்சலாம் நுண்ணுரு உன்னையான் விண்ணுரு நன்னிட எண்ணலையிரும் என்றருணாச்சலாம் நூலறிவறியா பேதையன் எந்தன் மாலறிவரு தருளருணாச்சலாம் நெக்கு நெக்குருகியான் புக்கிட உன்னை புகழக்கென நின்றனை அருணாச்சலா நேசமில் எனக்கு உன் ஆசையை காட்டி நீ மோசம் செய்யாதருள் அருணாச்சலாம் அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா 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 அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா அருணாச்சலம் வாழி அன்பர்களும் வாழி அக்ஷரமணமாலை வாழி. நமோ ரமண.
Namo Ramana. We conclude today's satsang with Ashtottara puja to Bhagavan in Sri Dileep Simhaji's house altar, and the chanting of the Ashtottaram will be done by Vaibhavji and Prarthana and Uma Sripathy. The Arati song will be sung by Dr. Prathiba Sundaresh.
नमो रमण. भारद्वाज विश्वनाथ विरचितं श्रीरमणाष्टोत्तर शतनामावलिः अपार सच्चित् सुखवारिराशे यस्योर्विमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि. ॐ महासेन महोस्तेन जाताय नमः. ॐ श्रीरमणाय नमः. ॐ गुरवे नमः. ॐ अखण्ड संविदाकाराय नमः. ॐ महौजसे नमः. ॐ कारणोद्भवाय नमः. ॐ जगद्धितावताराय नमः. ॐ श्रीभूमिनाथस्थलोस्थिताय नमः. ॐ पराशरकुलोत्तंसाय नमः. ॐ सुन्दरार्यतपःफलाय नमः. ॐ कमनीयसुचारित्राय नमः. ॐ सहायाम्बा सहायवते नमः. ॐ शोणाचलमहोलीनमानसाय नमः. ॐ स्वर्णहस्तकाय नमः. ॐ श्रीमद्वादशान्तमहास्थले लब्धविद्योदयाय नमः. ॐ महाशक्तिनिपातेन प्रबुद्धाय नमः. ॐ परमार्थविदे नमः. ॐ तीव्राय नमः. ॐ पितृपदान्वेषिणे नमः. ॐ इन्दुमौलिना पितृमते नमः. ॐ पितुरादेशतः शौर्णशैलं प्राप्ताय नमः. ॐ तपोमयाय नमः. ॐ उदासीनाय नमः। ॐ महायोगिने नमः। ॐ महोत्साहाय नमः। ॐ कुशाग्रदिये नमः। ॐ शान्तसङ्कल्पसम्भ्रमाय नमः। ॐ सुसन्द्रशे नमः। ॐ सवित्रे नमः। ॐ स्थिराय नमः। ॐ तपक्षपितसर्वाङ्गाय नमः। ॐ पुल्लाम्बुजविलोचनाय नमः। ॐ चन्द्रिकासितहासश्रीमण्डिताननमण्डलाय नमः। ॐ चूतवाट्यां समासीनाय नमः। ॐ चूर्णिताखिलविभ्रमाय नमः। ॐ वेदवेदान्ततत्त्वज्ञाय नमः। ॐ चिन्मुद्रिणे नमः। ॐ त्रिगुणातिगाय नमः। ॐ विरूपाक्षगुहावासाय नमः। ॐ विराजदशलाकृतये नमः। ॐ उद्दीप्तनयनाय नमः। ॐ पूर्णाय नमः। ॐ रचिताचलताण्डवाय नमः। ॐ गम्भीराय नमः। ॐ परमाचार्याय नमः। ॐ सुप्रसन्नाय नमः। ॐ अभयप्रदाय नमः। ॐ दक्षिणास्यनिधाय नमः। ॐ धीराय नमः। ॐ दक्षिणाभिमुखाय नमः। ॐ स्वराजे नमः। ॐ महर्षये नमः। ॐ भगवते नमः। ॐ ईड्याय नमः।
ॐ भूमविद्याविशारदाय नमः। ॐ विमलाय नमः। ॐ दीर्घदर्शिने नमः। ॐ आप्ताय नमः। ॐ ऋजुमार्गप्रदर्शकाय नमः। ॐ समदृशे नमः। ॐ सत्यदृशे नमः। ॐ सत्याय नमः। ॐ प्रशान्ताय नमः। ॐ अमितविक्रमाय नमः। ॐ सुकुमाराय नमः। ॐ सदानन्दाय नमः। ॐ मृदुभाषिणे नमः। ॐ दयार्णवाय नमः। ॐ श्री षोडाचलहृद्भूत स्कन्दाश्रमनिकेतनाय नमः। ॐ सद्दर्शनोपदेष्ट्रे नमः। ॐ सद्भक्तवृन्दपरिवृताय नमः। ॐ गणेशमुनिभृङ्गेन सेविताङ्घ्रिसरोरुहाय नमः। ॐ गीतोपदेशसारादिग्रन्थसञ्चिन्न संशयाय नमः। ॐ वर्णाश्रममतातीताय नमः। ॐ रसज्ञाय नमः। ॐ सौम्याय नमः। ॐ आत्मवते नमः। ॐ सर्वावनिमतस्थानाम् आराध्याय नमः। ॐ सर्वसद्गुणिने नमः। ॐ आत्मारामाय नमः। ॐ महाभागाय नमः। ॐ मातृमुक्तिविधायकाय नमः। ॐ विनताय नमः। ॐ विनुताय नमः। ॐ विप्राय नमः। ॐ मुनीन्द्राय नमः। ॐ पावकोज्ज्वलाय नमः। ॐ दर्शनादगसंहारिणे नमः। ॐ मौनेन स्वात्मबोधकाय नमः। ॐ हृच्चान्तिकरसान्निध्याय नमः। ॐ स्मरणात्बन्धमोचकाय नमः। ॐ अन्तस्तिमिरचण्डांशवे नमः। ॐ संसारार्णवतारकाय नमः। ॐ शोणाद्रीशस्तुतिद्रष्टे नमः। ॐ आर्धविद्याप्रकाशकाय नमः। ॐ अविच्युतनिजप्रज्ञाय नमः। ॐ नैसर्गिकमहातपसे नमः। ॐ कमण्डलुधराय नमः। ॐ शुभ्रकौपीनवसनाय नमः। ॐ गुहाय नमः। ॐ दण्डपाणये नमः। ॐ कृपापूर्णाय नमः। ॐ भवरोगविषग्वराय नमः। ॐ स्कन्दाय नमः। ॐ देवतमाय नमः। ॐ अमर्त्याय नमः। ॐ सेनान्ये नमः। ॐ पुरुषोत्तमाय नमः। ॐ श्रीरमण भगवते नमः। श्रीरमणाष्टोत्तरशतनाम पूजां समर्पयामि। यस्ताणोररुणाचलस्य पदयोः स्मृत्या जनिं प्राप्यत दिव्यानुग्रह सुप्रवाह विवशस्ताधात्म्यभावं गतः ऋन्निष्ठस्वगभीर नित्यतपसा लोकान् पुनास्येकराट् तस्मै श्रीरमणाय ते नम इदम् लोकोत्तर ज्योतिषे
नमो 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 रमण सदाशिव प्रभावरण नमो महर्षि नमो महर्षि दर्शन सुख मंगल मुख सकल जीव हित सम्मुख ब्रह्म संगिये नमो 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 रमण सदाशिव प्रभावरण नमो महर्षि नमो महर्षि सदा तुष्ट सदा हृष्ट सदा शिवानंद पुष्ट परम महर्षि ब्रह्मनिष्ठ समदर्शी नमो 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 रमण सदाशिव प्रभावरण नमो महर्षि नमो महर्षि ನಮ್ಮ ಮನವದೊಂದು ಕಾಡು ನೀನರಿತಿಹೆ ಅದರ ಜಾಡು ಹಿತವನರಿತು ನೀಡುತ್ತೆಮ್ಮ ಕೊರೆಯ ತಣಿಸಲೈ ಬೇಡಲೆಂದು ಬಂದ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿಯೇ ತಣಿವೆವಯ್ಯ ಮೂಡಿಗಾರನೇ ಹಿತವ ನುಡಿದು ಪೊರೆ ನಮ್ಮನು ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಸಂಗಿಯೇ ನಮೋ 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 ರಮಣ ಸದಾಶಿವ ಪ್ರಭಾವರಣ ನಮೋ ಮಹರ್ಷಿ ನಮೋ ಮಹರ್ಷಿ बोलो भगवान श्री रमण महर्षि की जय
जय